Well, we're going to do something just a little bit different today. And I'll be honest with you, it probably won't get as many views on YouTube as what some of my project videos do. But we're going to be working on the F450. So I power washed and hand washed this thing in the rain. Actually, rain snow last night at about 34 degrees. And then I've had it sitting here in the barn all night, drip drying, and we've got some work to do to her today. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what we're gonna do. So the first order of business is I've got to get this thing up in the air on jack stands. And we got to get these wheels off because we got to polish them. And I'm sure the camera doesn't pick it up, but if you look close, see all that? And, you know, in here, you can't tell as much, but they are definitely discolored over like the center caps. And I realize the center caps are chrome versus aluminum. You can probably maybe see it in that rear. I mean, it's still shiny, don't get me wrong, but they're due for a polishing. These are bare. There is no sort of coating or anything on them, so they do require polishing on a fairly regular basis. So we got to get them off. We're gonna get those polished up, and while everything's off, then we are going to do what I do every single year, which is paint the entire frame. Springs, suspension, axles, frame, everything I can get to. I just use satin black rattle cans, but I went through last night and, like I say, power washed everything I could get to and got all the salt and dirt and debris off of it within reason anyway. And she's nice and dry now, so we're going to get that done. And then last thing, well, actually it's not the last thing, we're also going to give her a coat of liquid wax while we're at it. But the last thing is these. I have wanted a set of these for a long time. Trucks of this size, and F450s in particular, are known for, even larger trucks, you know, anything with a 19.5 and up are known for having vibration issues, let's just say. And I've wanted a set of Centramatics for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger and just did all four wheels. So these are my rears. And if you don't know what Centramatics are, these have, you can hear them, balancing beads in this outer area, and so they auto balance. The beauty of them is that they auto balance the entire wheel end, not just the tire. So they balance the tire, the wheel, and the rotor. Basically, they do the entire rotating assembly. So because they're not beads attached just to the tire. So anyway, they're simple bolt-on. These are specific for the F450. All right, well, we fast forwarded, and I kind of didn't forget to show you guys what I'm doing, because I'm trying to sell a trailer today, or soon. I listed it yesterday, and I've had a ton of interest on it, and so people are messaging me left and right, and it's kind of hard to, I film with my phone, so it's kind of hard to have it up on a stand. But anyway, whew, I'm out of breath from pulling wheels and tires. I guess I need to maybe eat a little less, huh?
That guy in a little coat.
A little more exercise. But there you can see we've got lots and lots of access to everything now to get our paint in. We'll do a little wiping last of the surfaces, but you can see we're nice and clean. And you can see this truck, it's a plow truck. It's a 2019, so I've had it for 4 years and about 5 months. It has 134,000 or something on it. And yeah, that's what the frame still looks like. So all it takes is cleaning, lots and lots of washing and cleaning. And then I do this once a year. I clean it up, and I just keep some paint on it. And obviously it looks nice too. You get that satin black look on everything. And you know, we still get rust here and there, but nothing crazy. You know, we get little bits, but overall, you know, everything is nice and clean. So little effort. You know, I spend, you know, a couple hours a year on doing this, and, you know, and probably $40, $50 in paint a year. And this is what we get out of it. So while this thing is off, I'm also going to do my DOT inspection on it. I've already been underneath it, just was in getting some service work done. So I generally know where it's at, but the last few things I'm going to check on, make sure she passes and is up to snuff, and yeah, it's time to polish. Not much fun, but we're going to get it done and the results are going to be worth it. Okay, we are getting there. I need to get this done because I'm wearing a mask and I am not a mask person, guys. Whether it's because of COVID or because of safety, and the safety police will hate me for it, but I'm not a mask wearer. But anyway, that aside, give you a little look at the difference. So there's polished with rough cut, and there's the line. So yeah, they look pretty shiny on the truck, in the camera anyway. But you know, you can see I've done the inners here. Well, I don't do the inner because it's covered up with a center cap, but you can see, if you can catch it in the light, I've done that inner, but I've not done the barrels. So just got to finish the barrel on this one, and that's arguably the easy part. All right, well, guys, that took about 3 hours. We ended up doing, well, this is 4 stages. I've still got one more stage to do, so that's 3 cuts, 3 on the Zephyr kit, and then this stuff, which by the way is awesome. This came with the kit, and my kit is about whopped out. But out of this, the wheels are all cut down to nothing. Compound I'm getting low on, so. But that Pro 40 is really awesome stuff. Apparently, I think it's got some sort of level of sealant too. But man, if you don't go too long in between, like in the summertime, I can just use that about once a month. And really keeps the wheels up good. It's the salt in the wintertime that kills them. So hence why now that it's spring and maybe they won't see any more salt, probably will, but just a little bit. So that's why I did this. But you can see they aren't perfect, but they are close. For a work truck, that'll work. Okay, well, there we go. Frame is nice and clean and painted. Axles, hitch, everything. That's part of taking care of a truck, if you ask me anyway. Well, I'm moving on to the Centramatics, and I lied to you guys earlier in the video, and there's probably already people commenting and yelling at me. But the little ones are the front, and if I'd have done some thinking, I'd have realized that, because they have to obviously go inside the dish, whereas the rears go between the duals and therefore can be taller. So I've heard some people talk about wanting to paint these because you can see them through the hand holes. I just think on this galvanized or aluminum or whatever the heck it is, it's not aluminum, it's probably galvanized. I don't think it's going to look very good. I think it's going to chip off and flake, and you know what, I'd rather just let it get dirty, and it is what it is. We'll see it a little bit. That's life. So so I'm gonna get those up, and yeah. Okay, well, there she is. There's the final stage, the sealant on the wheels. Man, they are just a gleaming, and I don't think that's too bad on those Centramatics. I mean, yeah, you can see them, but it looks great. If anything, it'll keep a little brake dust down off the disc brakes. Truck is waxed with some liquid wax. The only bummer about that is waxing is it shows I have clear bra on the fronts of the dually fenders, so they don't get all pockmarked, but oh well, small price to pay. Overall, she looks great. Wipe the interior down real quick. Steer's looking great. And you can see Centramatics are less visible there. Now, the only complaint I've heard, which I'm not going to complain about, is that at very low speed, like with windows down, you can hear those. If it means that this thing runs smoother, I can deal with that. So I'm excited to drive it. I'll report back with how she feels, but right now I got to get that thing moved. I got to get a 15K bumper pull hooked up to this and a backhoe loaded on that and load it up and ready to go for tomorrow. And P.S. It's Michigan, so it might be 60 degrees and sunny right now on Sunday, but tonight it's supposed to rain and snow and be nasty. So I have to enjoy the way this truck looks for the next few hours. All right, guys, well, we're gonna splice in some video here. I'm just on my way home from work. This is the first day I've driven the truck with the Centramatics mounted. I drove this morning on the way to work, but I had a roughly around 12,000 pounds behind me, so I didn't really get the full effect because it's always a little smoother with a load. But right now, I've got about, I don't know, 500-600 pounds in the bed, but nothing real heavy. And you know, I'm sure you can still see the camera bouncing just a hair, but that's normal F450 bounce. So what I'll show you here is if we pan over, so my passenger seat, and then what you can't see here, the center console. Before, if I had no one riding shotgun, that seat vibrated and literally rattled almost all the time. So the center console. So I'd always just put my arm on the center console. And it's doing neither. My steering wheel is not shaking at all. I can let go of it. It's got a real nice heavy feel to it. The whole truck, to be honest with you, has a real nice heavy feel to it. Like noticeable. Incredibly noticeable. And I should have spent that $440 a long friggin' time ago, because this is a truly enjoyable experience. Whereas I spent the last 4.5 years kind of putting up with the driving experience because, you know, I needed an F450 for what I do, and now I don't have to justify it anymore. So anyway, if you're experiencing similar problems, I